Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Hello, everyone. Happy Feminist Friday. We have, okay, first of all, I just have to brag a little bit. I've been saying for a few days since we did the Girls Gone Bible show that I wanted shiny lips, and I found some lip gloss on clearance. So it's like, it's shiny. And also, it looks like a normal t-shirt, but it's actually like a full dress, like the whole thing. And also on clearance, $3. Woo! Clearance is the only time I let myself have new things, and so I'm fucking tickled. It's actually like a glitter chameleon color thing, but it just looks kind of maroonish under my lights. Anyway, I do digress. Hello, everyone. I will be joined shortly by Kelly King, the atheist queen of Detroit, who appears to be off to get coffee, but that's all good. Hello, all you fine folks, you army of the damned, you wonderful people. There's Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Hi. Yes, I was not myself, so I needed something to perk me up.
Fair enough. I know Lil is in the cast chat talking about how she's got a small creature who apparently got a hold of all the caffeine, and it's making me jealous. Such is life. But Lil may pop in later if she gets a break from the small one. Jess, How to Rule an Asteroid, said that she'd like to be by. There may be other people popping it. Who knows? You never know. It's a surprise. And for $3, that's incredible. It is. I'm not sure if it's like designed to be a nightshirt or what, but it just, and it's got a pocket. And I do love, I love even though these things have been taking more and more space, which I honestly cannot complain about, I do love having chest pockets to put things into. Other quick notes before we really get started. First of all, I've got a couple detours to go into, as I often do when I plan out the tangents. It minimizes the tangents later or something. My microphone is being weird. It keeps moving its own volume all the way up to maximum. I've turned on the automatic microphone control in the software. Hopefully that helps. But if I start peaking like crazy, do let me know. And third, my body is doing that thing that happens when you have a whole lot of injuries and they aren't fixed yet. And I may have to run randomly. If that happens, we'll do our best. But just so you're aware, if I have to pop off suddenly, that's why. Okay.
Okay, so before you go on, even though Jason did spoil it, I wanted to announce happy birthday, Jess. He might be coming on. How to Rule an Asteroid, Jess. But Jason ruined it. But I'm still going to say it live on air. But happy birthday. Hopefully she'll pop in and we can show her some more love on here.
Yeah, actually, that's a great devious plan, and I love devious plans almost as much as deviant outcasts. All deviants are wonderful, but if Jess does pop in, as soon as you see her, just start spamming the chat with happy birthdays and cakes and whatever the hell else seems appropriate, because it will make her blush. And maybe we'll get her to faint from so much blood in her cheeks. It'll be amazing. So, yes.
I don't want to do that.
Deviousness. Okay, we have things. First, today's show is about feminism. Feminist Friday. It's what we do here. And so I want to open with just a few seconds from this video. If it decides to play, maybe. Yes, we must get the fairy. We should get one of those.
Feminism. Have you noticed how women are becoming more and more aggressive and intolerant?
Have you noticed how women are becoming more and more aggressive and intolerant? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we do have a poll in the chat, which kind of relates to this. I set it up last night when I was getting the stream all shiny and polished and whatnot. Which feminism is the best feminism? And the options are biblical, because today we're talking biblical feminism. Okay, so the final option is I don't know the flavors. So I will explain the flavors as we go. Biblical feminism is sort of like anti-feminism insofar as it's women should live according to the Bible says, which is to say, be property, be subject to a man. In fact, be subject to every man when you get right down to it. Basically, it's more patriarchy than the existing patriarchy. Intersectional feminism, which you might also call fourth wave feminism, the current wave of feminism, is understanding that feminist issues intersect with many, many different things, with homosexuality, with gender issues, with race issues, with class issues. Many of these issues are actually the same issues, just viewed through different perspectives. And so intersectional feminism tries to incorporate all of these things to create a more equitable future for everyone, period. Radical feminism, this one has been taken out of context a little bit in recent years as a response to intersectional feminism, but ultimately radical feminism is it's sort of between second and third wave. It's this idea that the ultimate problem affecting women and making our lives more difficult is the patriarchy. That's where the term the patriarchy became popularized, was radical feminism. But it's radical because the proposed solution isn't just to dismantle the oppressive systems. It's revolution. It's overthrow the damn systems and replace them with something better. And then, of course, the final option is I don't know the flavors. But now you do know the flavors. There's more flavors, but I only had 4 options, and I wanted to put an I don't know in there. So vote with that knowledge in mind. going forward, and I will try to remember to check in on the poll a little bit later. But first, the news. I hope this is the right news, because there's two newses, but we'll see what happens. I actually had these all preset to a certain point in the video I wanted to start from, and then my computer reset. Amazing. So we're just gonna go with it. Maybe we're gonna go with it if it decides to go with it. Maybe not.
A statue depicting President Trump and the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein holding hands has been removed from the National Mall. The purpose of the artwork...
Yeah, did you know there was a statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands on the National Mall? Why were we not told about this? So the story is a little more.
Stated on the permit application, at least, was to demonstrate freedom of speech and art.
In fact, let's make that one big. Let's have a closer look at that masterful work of art. Look how they're freaking frolicking. Oh my goodness. It's just so fitting. It's so appropriate. I'll switch us to, there we go, Bigify mode.
Artistic expression using political imagery is what it said. The National Park Service initially issued a permit for the statue to remain on the National Mall until Sunday night. However, U.S. Park Police removed it early this morning, saying that it was not in compliance.
In honor of Friendship Month. His closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my goodness. But like, I don't know why they took offense. I can't imagine, because, I mean, they even made Trump fictional levels of thin. Like, he has never been that in shape in his real life. Like, I mean, even as a child, you go back to photos of Trump as a small child, he was round. Not that there's anything wrong with being round, but he has a great deal of insecurity. You know, he's lied. One of his first lies to the public was how in shape he is. I'm 230 pounds. Mm-hmm. Sure, buddy.
With a permit, they did not provide further details.
And
a statue.
That's it. There was a statue. They removed it. Something permit, but no details. Just boop, gone. But these are the same people who have a big conniption every time someone takes a statue down, or so they claimed. Interesting.
It's only certain statues that they get.
And there's a bit more hypocrisy out there in the world. I mean, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the world, but I'm trying to bring you the news that you're not going to get anywhere else, including transpositions, because it's not trans-related news. Turning Point is having rallies again. Let's switch to slightly bigger mode for this one. So Turning Point had a rally at Virginia Tech. They had a bunch of people come talk. The thing of note, however, to me, is that Governor Youngkin announced a personal donation of $100,000 to Turning Point to establish chapters across Virginia. And then, you know, led a prayer session, of course, as government officials acting in their governmental capacity are wont to do. Whatever. I just wanted to point that one out. It's not relevant to anything. It just, let's keep an eye on these assholes, you know? Holy crap. These people have too much fucking money, you know? I mean, the Kirk estate alone, Turning Point is ostensibly a nonprofit organization, so they hold most of their own money. The payroll Charlie Kirk received cleared $12 million. That's what he had in assets when he died, not what he'd already spent on all the various lavish shit he had. Which is, I mean, not bad for a fucking podcaster, I guess, but whatever. So the organization itself has fuck tons of money, and yet the governor makes a gesture of $100,000 donation so they can set up more chapters to poison more young people's minds and cause more violence. What a great, I mean, in fairness, that's a memorial that Charlie would have wanted. So there's that. Oh,
shows you how great America is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Aunt Jur asks, what state was it that's requiring their schools to have chapters of Turning Point? I had not heard about that. Let's look that one up.
Either.
States that require schools to have TPUSA.
Oh, Hellbound Hillbilly said that was Oklahoma.
Okay, according to Education Week, at least 12 states require school districts to offer release time for religious practice upon parental request. And Turning Point qualifies. Instead of sending your kids to church school, you can send them to hate rallies for Nazism. You know, nationalist Christians, Nazis. I'm not saying the other thing. YouTube, pay attention. We've established this. Oklahoma.gov says every high school will have a TPUSA chapter, of course, because the Bible in every classroom isn't enough. Yeah, it appears to be Oklahoma that's mostly pushing it. I mean, they've got the loyalty tests, they've got the Bible in every classroom, all of that fun shit. It just AJ says Oklahoma is the new Florida. I mean, it's a stiff competition because you've got Florida still Florida-ing. Texas is definitely in the running. It's, I don't know. As Lauren says, this country is so cooked. Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. And on that happy note, let's find out about biblical feminism, which is what we're actually here to do today. And we're just about right on time. I try to do the detour stuff in the first 15 minutes so that the late people have time to wander in and whatnot. But yeah, let's hit it, shall we?
Biblical feminism. A couple questions I have.
Okay, this one did start about where I wanted it to. The book, there's an actual book called Biblical Feminism. The author, Dania Greenberg, she is what do you call it? A Messianic Jew, right? She's Jewish, but she believes Jesus is the Messiah. Basically, Jesus's original church. They were heretical Jews who believed in Jesus, but they were Jews. The whole thing Paul did was his own fan fiction, but Jesus's own cult were heretical Jews. And so they're trying to recreate that movement. But Mrs. Greenberg is a little bit different because she's created her own translation, which includes Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Corinthians, Timothy, Romans, Acts. It's almost like there's already a book like that somewhere. I don't know. But she created her own translation somehow. And she has an app. But today she's here. This is the reason we're starting so far into the video, because she spends a lot of time talking about the time she spent in jail and creating the app and doing the translation and all that fun shit. This is the point. This is the first point they bring up the fucking book in this interview. So that's why we're starting here.
Mentioned wanting to move past culture's, quote, angry feminist narrative.
Culture with that angry feminist narrative. Are you angry, Kelly?
Not at the moment. In certain situations, I am, about certain circumstances.
I mean, in fairness, I've been known to get a little worked up now and then. At the moment, I'm kind of like bemused / disappointed, but that's because I've been like overstimulated / desensitized to all the things that should be invoking blood-curdling rage, like the governor of Virginia donating $100,000 to a nationalist organization for the express purpose of indoctrinating the youth. Oi.
Well, you
Kip
have to,
has a note for us. Very important to note, Messianic Judaism is a complete farce that attempts to blend medieval rabbinic rituals and traditions with modern evangelical Christianity. It is absolute nonsense. More so than either of those religions independently.
Okay.
But yes, amazing. I love it.
It's always good to have Kip in the chat. He always be spewing that knowledge, biblical knowledge.
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
We
especially when it comes to
appreciate you.
Bible stuff. Because like while I've read the thing a couple of times, I've noticed a few things that some folks who've also read it a couple of times haven't. Not a scholar. No PhD in Bible studies for me. Nope.
We just
So
understand that I am a Black woman. So
are you?
and it's not really obvious, I know, but because of that, I have a stigmatism of being the angry Black woman. So I am permanently the Incredible Hulk at all times.
Right. Now that's an interesting thing about cultural stereotypes, right? Because brown people are allowed or even expected to be like strong because racism. But if a white woman is too strong, well, she's actually a man playing dress up. You know, like what the fuck? Kip says I am also very good at math and volcanoes. It's true. It has been written somewhere, I'm sure, possibly in Kip's book called God's Propaganda, available now on Barnes and Noble. Not sponsored. I just
But you could
plug
be.
shit randomly. It's a compulsion. I plug shit randomly. I can't help it.
You could be a sponsor. See, that's a possibility.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
That's
what
one
part of your
sponsor
book,
that'll
or
be
how
good
does
to
your
do.
book?
Hold on. No, you go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would beat the hell out of what was it yesterday that I did the pretend sponsorship from, what was it, the Turning Point dating app?
Yeah.
That's going to be a recurring segment, Turning Point Watch. Holy shit. Maybe I should do that with intention, right? And every so often do a Turning Point update, and then I can like cut those out and make, I don't know, maybe shorts, maybe I don't know. I don't know which would be better. I know it's good to have shorts on your channel, but it's also good to have like actual normal horizontal videos that are not live, so people can use that new hype feature. Incidentally, people were asking over on Damn earlier, the hype thing. That's a new feature. It's not available everywhere. And where it is available, it's only available on mobile. You have to be watching on mobile. And it only works on recorded videos, not lives and not shorts, only the horizontal, regular recorded videos. But if you can find it on your phone on a regular original flavor video, you know how when underneath a video you'll have that bar that says comments, and then slide it over and ask questions, and then slide it over and then AI something. If you keep sliding it enough, you'll get a button that says hype. If you hit the hype button, it adds a certain amount of points to the hype total for the video, and there's a separate feed for the most hyped videos on the YouTubes. So like you've got your live feed, your various interests, the main For You page, the what's happening now, the what's trending now. There will be a hype feed also. So if you scroll all the way over, you'll find the hype feed, and you get to see which videos already have the most fans. And it's being pitched as another way to help out small creators, because if you hype a video, it gets on that list, and the more it gets hyped, then the more up the list it goes. But the thing of it is, a channel with 1 million subscribers who all hit hype is always going to outperform a channel with 10,000 subscribers, even if they all hit the hype button, you know? So, I mean, I appreciate YouTube's trying new things to try to help out smaller creators. I just, with all the extra steps involved in this feature and the fact that it still amounts to the size of your fan base, I don't know that this one will actually make much difference.
It won't.
But it's nice that they're trying new things. Maybe I'm just too skeptical.
Because I saw the hype for you once, and I just pressed hype. I don't know what it was going to do, but I was like, maybe it'll give her something. So I just pressed hype. But, hey, worth a try,
We'll see. But I mean, after the most recent incarnation of the adpocalypse, where they started just taking every view that has a user with an ad blocker and just like removing them from the count, and every channel's views dropped by like half. Whoopsie.
I just got YouTube Premium. Don't worry about the ad blockers. I paid extra money, and I have the family plan. So me and my kids all have it. You know,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're using YouTube a lot, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
It just
I
people like
use
me
this
who
and
are
the
very,
music.
very poor, like so far I've continued to justify keeping premium because sometimes I need to run actual YouTube content, and having ads pop up in the middle of it is extremely unhelpful. But my bank account's going negative very, very rapidly, and so I'm like, maybe I should get rid of that. I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's only $20 a month, but on the flip side, like, that's $100 every 5 months, or $240 a year.
I pay that much. I think for the premium. I don't ain't that much for the premium. I mean for the premium with the family plan. I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong.
Yeah, maybe it's 16 and I'm confusing it with the Restream subscription. It's rough. All
Yeah.
these little bitty subscriptions, they add the fuck up, and when you've got no
Exactly.
income coming in, it's pretty
That's even
scary pretty
worse.
fast. Goodness. Speaking of which, I came across a video yesterday while I was doing research for next week's transpositions. Accidentally came across it. It just jumped out of a feed at me. And yeah, discrimination against trans people at work has gone a little bit more off the rails than it already had. So I have moved the regularly scheduled Sunday show 2 Sundays hence, since I have another one scheduled for the following Sunday. And this Sunday, we're going to be talking about hate at work, because it's not just me. Obviously, it's not just me, but there's a lot to talk about. So join me for Evening Ember. This week, we're going to be discussing something that isn't pseudoscience and silliness, but I believe is very fucking important. So I hope you'll join for that. And also all the other things. Subscribe. Just all the things we do here are at least either entertaining or important. So do subscribe. I would appreciate it.
Biblical feminism help people do that?
I think the male and female, the way you read it in English, those two words seem like they're dependent on each other. The word male is inside the word female.
I have so many thoughts. Like, the male is inside the female. Like, what are you saying, ma'am? Are you trying to be a little dirty there? Because if that's what you're going for, I can kind of appreciate that. But if you're implying that the natural order of things is for males to be inside females, that's a little gross. That's a little personal. It just what are we doing? But also, I think what she's actually going for is that female is dependent on male, and that's fucking ridiculous. It's like, no, male comes from female. That's how that works. That's never mind. But also, it's a linguistic coincidence. There's not actually any deeper metaphor to it. The words come from completely different roots and only seem to be surface level similar in English. But details. On a happier note, Jason Freer sends a super chat for 5 Canuck bucks. How do you like that? Is that better than alleged dollars? I don't know. It came to me suddenly. $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. And says, keeping Ember alive, which I very personally appreciate. Thank you. Oh, Sapphic Hazard says, it's just weird because English is so young. It's true.
It says male and female, he created them in Genesis. The word male and female in Hebrew are two totally distinct words. They are not dependent on each other. Male and female are each uniquely created because together they are the reflection of the.
They're Voltron. They snap together and create Voltron. No, that's not how that works. I do appreciate. I don't speak Hebrew like Dr. Josh, Dr. Kip. But I do appreciate her pointing out that in most languages, probably including Hebrew, they're not related words. As Eric Wander says, yeah, in Spanish, that would not work.
Image of God. realize that we should work cooperatively, even if it includes cooperative overlap, even if we talk over each other. It's better to find out what each other bring to the table than to somehow segment ourselves and become competitive. And I'm
The way she phrases it is a little ishy. Like we should talk over each other. We shouldn't be competitive. It's a weird perspective, but I do appreciate her central message of maybe let's find out how diversity can benefit us instead of segregating everyone into their own little boxes. I can definitely appreciate that.
just not interested in focusing on whining about misogyny. Like I'm over it.
Instead of focusing on whining about misogyny, tell me you are privileged as fuck without actually saying so. I've been rich my entire life, and I don't know what all these people are talking about with their misogyny business. I've gotten everything I've ever demanded, especially when I asked to speak to the manager. Like, holy shit. That's
We
so
must
close to a
read.
Karen haircut, isn't it?
We must read Kip's comment.
Okay, yeah, Kip says, yes, the word we translate as male is from a word meaning memory. The word female is from a root that means whole. Lovely, huh?
Very much so. Very lovely.
Fantastic. And Jester, of course, has to point out, when you put them together, it's a memory hole.
That's why I love this chat.
Praise the party! Or something. What is it they say? Hail, big brother. I can't fucking remember. Room 101. Yes, all of that.
I'm so over it because it just doesn't help anybody. It's better.
Yes, exposing misogyny and changing things for the better doesn't help anybody. Not ever. Hey, Kelly, do you think people have ever in the history of just this country, just the United States, has addressing the problems of oppression of an entire group of people ever made things better for a group of people? Do you think?
Say it one more time.
Has addressing the problems of an entire group of people made the oppressive circumstances better for that group of people in the whole history of the US?
Things have never changed. It'll be sprinkle a little bit of maybe just to how do you call it? Just like what I felt with Juneteenth. We just gonna give them that just to shut them the hell up.
Yeah,
It
we'll
wasn't
do
really
Martin Luther
anything
King
to
Day.
help. It just gave
Look,
us a day.
y'all got a holiday. Y'all got a history month. Racism is over.
Shut y'all the hell up. Because we're not talking about we was talking about the issue of the police brutality. So we're gonna give them a day to shut them up. That's what I looked at it for. Didn't really help much.
As I find myself frequently pointing out lately, remember that in order to get the Civil Rights Act and related legislation passed, it took both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And they both met their end the same way at the hands of the same people and for the same reason, regardless of their methods. So one method is not going to necessarily keep you safe, but also only one of them got a holiday because the powers that be want you to see one particular way as the better way and the other way as to be forgotten about. Just pointing out those
neither one of
historical
them will be forgotten in my eyes. They
Yeah.
both were very important in my history. You know, but yeah, a lot
That's
of
why I keep bringing them up. It took both of them. It wasn't just the sit-ins, the peaceful protests, the nights in the Birmingham jail, the speech at the Lincoln Memorial. Those were all hugely important, but it wasn't just the peaceful side that affected real change. It took both.
Yeah,
cooperating with one another and caring about the next generation. I think one of the things that's really frustrating for me in the biblical arena and watching, I mean, the fascination that people have with the TLV, with the Tree of Life version, is
that's her translation of the Torah plus other testaments of the Messiah, something. Like, it's a fucking, it's literally just the existence. It's the Protestant Bible. It's a new translation, but it's just the Protestant Bible.
it's done by Jewish believers in Yeshua. And Romans 3:2 says, what's the advantage of being Jewish? Well, it says, much in every way, for they were entrusted with the sayings of God. Well, this is the first translation by Jewish believers in Yeshua. These are PhDs that started.
Remember, she's here to talk about her book, Biblical Feminism, and they've spent the last 20 minutes. We started the video because we were skipping over all the parts where she's talking about her Bible app and her Bible translation and her time in jail. This segment is to talk about her book, and she's going out of her way to not talk about her book. I love it.
Of getting saved in the Jesus movement. And they end up growing up, coming to understand, walking alongside Christians, understanding, bringing back the Jewish roots of the faith brings clarity to the word. Like the Feast of Dedication, it talks about in the New Testament, is Hanukkah. The Last Supper is Passover. The coming again of our Messiah is foretold in Zechariah.
Wait, what did she say?
The book of Revelation. The word, like the Feast of Dedication, it talks about in the New Testament, is Hanukkah.
Okay, first of all, again, as many of you know, I did not successfully grow up in Christianity. I kept getting asked to leave churches. What the fuck is the Feast of Dedication?
I don't know.
That's a new one on me.
No,
Holy
on me
crap.
too, Kip. Help.
What is the Feast of Dedication? Another name for Hanukkah. I don't know. Maybe that's something from her Jewish perspective. I don't. What does it have to do with Jesus? I don't follow. Yeah, it's just Hanukkah as far as I can see. It celebrates the Maccabees' victory over Greek oppression and the rededication of the temple, which is why Maccabees isn't in her version of the Bible. But never mind that. The hell was the other thing she said?
The Last Supper is Passover.
Yes, that's explicitly stated in the Gospels. It's not like some hidden mystery. It's like, look, we're doing the thing because it's Passover. Jesus is supposed to be the Passover lamb. That's the whole symbology thing. Like, why are you treating this like it's some big reveal?
The coming again of our Messiah is foretold in Zechariah. The book of Revelation tells you more about the Old Testament than it does the New. You'd be shocked if you could just see the transformative way you read the Bible when you understand it from a Jewish perspective. It's
the holy book of the Jewish people, which is why so many Christians are so quick to discount it. They're like, no, these are all stories and rules for the Jewish people, but not us, because we're the specials for some reason, because Paul said so, apparently. Kip says, Messianic Judaism is gross cultural appropriation that is actually very offensive to most actual Jewish people who lived through centuries of persecution in the name of Jesus. And to this day, the host of this talk show says early on, anti-Semitism, but why? Well, we know why. We know why, because for generations, preachers have preached from their pulpits and continue to do so today to say that the Jews are who killed Jesus, even though the Bible says it was Roman soldiers. But never mind. The preachers will just flat out say the Jews killed our Savior. And also, remember, Jesus had to die. It was part of God's plan for the redemption of all mankind so that he would be able to rise from the dead. So they're complaining about something that they actually celebrate, and they're blaming people who explicitly did not do it according to their own thing. But why is there anti-Semitism, though? The fuck? What are we doing, folks? I mean, when it's mythology, you may as well just make it up as you go, but fuck's sake.
So beautifully written and easy to understand. I mean, just the word shalom is such an amazing word because do you know something funny? Do you know that when we were talking about the difference between like God is the only one who can be one. Everything else in creation is binary,
What?
What?
Okay.
Minimally. No. This is like she's wearing her juvenile elementary school level childlike thinking on her sleeve. Everything in the universe is black and white. Sometimes there's shades of gray. Occasionally there's shades of gray, but everything is binary. Like, ma'am, nothing is fucking binary. Every single thing. The one thing I agree with about the other best friend of Jeffrey Epstein, disgraced former professor Richard Dawkins, is that everything in nature is a spectrum. Although he adds a little caveat at the end because he's obsessed with penises, but that's neither here nor there. It's black and white thinking. And she's using it as the lens through which she views everything, not just her mythology, but her entire worldview. And this is one of the reasons that I put so much effort into combating the harm of religion, because what you believe does shape how you interact with the world. If you think the world really is 4-year-old level good versus evil all the time and everything, it's going to fuck up how you interact with society. Oh, Jester points out everything is binary, but the tri-omni trinity God is singular. Yes, that's correct, Jester. You're exactly right. It's completely logical, totally consistent, no contradictions. It's not it's not incoherent at all. No. Nope.
minimally divided by 2 because the only one that exists alone is God. That's not rocket science.
Rocket science isn't actually that hard. But never mind. Whatever. It's a colloquialism. God exists alone, but also Jesus. But God is alone, but also Jesus. No contradictions. It's fine. Andrew says the Pentecostal evangelical circles I was in admired the Messianic Jews as super Christians, extra special chosen people, like chosen times 2. Christians fetishize Jewish people. Some do, certainly. But it's a binary, really. There's the Christians who fetishize Jewish people and the Christians who just hate the Jewish people. And sometimes they overlap because there's a lot of overlapping in nature, too. Oh, Jeebus. What Jesus save us from your followers. Anarchic Fox says, anybody else having trouble not thinking this lady is just a Tina Fey character? Now that you mention it, I mean, let's switch to large view here. It really does look like Tina Fey fucking with
I
us.
didn't even pay attention. Oh man.
Like it's a secret SNL spinoff.
Like it's Saturday Night Live or something.
Oh my.
But if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, she's got more of a jaw than the host of the show, but that's okay. That helps me with my dysphoria, so I don't mind at all.
If seeing it twice, right, when God declares his character.
Kip makes another amazingly good point. I mean, of course, it's an amazingly good point, as long as it's not about math or a volcano. Kip says she could actually read the fucking Hebrew Bible, she would know that Yahweh is absolutely not the only God in the imagination of its writers. For fucking real. That's actually, I did a video on that specifically. Chris from Daily Atheist Morning Show was preaching the gospel of top 10 lists. And so I'm like, fuck it, fine, I will try a top 10 list. So I did 10 other gods in the Bible. And the video did not go very, very well. But it does exist. It's out there. Let me see if I can find a link. If I can get to my page. I have so many windows open. So many windows. Whatever shall we do? Oh, goodness. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Let's go. Fine. I'll just open another one. I'll just open a new window. It's fine. Watch me click around, folks, live on stream or something. No shit. I didn't want to go to studio.
They're about to
Fine,
ban you.
I'll find it
Foul
through studio.
language.
It's not that far back. There's a lot of videos that are like not unlisted. That's the word for it. There's a lot of unlisted and members only videos in there, but there's not that much that's actually like public, which good reason to join memberships if you want. First of all, I'm recording the closing credits. That's one of the perks of Cinder level members. The top level of membership is you get your name in the closing credits. I'm re-recording in a couple of days as soon as I have time. If you want to make sure your name is in the credits, join memberships at the Cinder level. Because there were people who felt left out last time, but that's a perk of that top level of support. But there's a bunch of other stuff, including a fuck ton of exclusive content, members only content. You have to be an Ember member to find that shit. Also, we do a members live stream at least once a month, more when I can. Yeah, and there's other stuff too, like the emojis. There's a bunch of things. So do consider joining memberships if you can. I can't plug things and talk at the same time, though. There it is. There it is. Okay, it is still a public video. Get shareable link. Cool. Now let's go over to the chat. Drop it in the chat. There we go. We did it. We did it. That was the wrong video. That was 10 times God changed his mind. I did 2 top 10s and I saw the 10. Why am I so bad at my job? All right, this one is
Better
10
than me.
other gods in the Bible. This one. Oh my God. Y'all probably could have found it faster just by going to my channel and scrolling, because like I said, public videos, the ones that aren't members exclusives, there's not that many in the way. Whatever. The second link is 10 other gods in the Bible. Why are you like this, Ember? Why are you like this? It's fine. It's fine. Kip says, there's an academic book called The Dictionary of Demons and Deities in the Bible, and it is several hundred pages. I believe it. There's quite a lot. As I mean, I only did like a surface level scan to find 10 like that were really talkable for various reasons. Like for example, during Solomon's reign, he invited the priests of 2 other gods to set up temples inside Jerusalem. He acknowledged other gods as fucking King Solomon, the wise, ostensibly. Oh, yeah. Deviant says, yeah, we all know you mean outcast felt cast out. I fixed it, so this time the outcast will be incast? I must have missed something while I was looking for my link. I don't know.
Yeah, I did too. But I haven't really been looking at the comments extensively like I usually do.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, let's go back to, visible size instead. My apologies, folks. I'm trying to do too much at once. I'm running the show as well as being on the show. And so I left you on a paused Not Tina Fey while tiny little Ember was looking for links. I'm so bad at this. Live broadcasting. It's what we, if I made like just clips of the outtakes, I could produce a fucking full-length movie. It would be amazing. In fact, Andrew's been sending me some clips of my outtakes, and sometimes I'm like, but why though?
Lord,
Hey,
he says in
Ryan.
Exodus 34. Then when Yeshua is saying in the New Testament, Yeshua meaning Jesus says, amen, amen, I tell you.
It's weird that she feels the need to say Yeshua meaning Jesus. Like, if you mean Jesus, why aren't you saying Jesus? You're saying Yeshua because you think that's the correct name. But here's the thing. Literally no one is confused by that. Every single person who might possibly be watching this show knows that some people call Jesus Yeshua, and they mean Jesus. I'm speaking in tongues again. Deviant says, Ember, you said last time some people felt left out of the end credits. It's true. Deviant was one of the people, not the only person, who messaged me, I'm a member, why wasn't I in the credits? because it's the top level of membership. But I felt bad because I didn't make that clear, apparently. Kip says Yeshua meaning Jesus. Fuck me. I know, it's like, what can I do? What can I do here? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. And for some of you, it is early, isn't it? Because it's, while it's almost noon here, there are other time zones. I am, of course, in Eastern time, which is why I promote all the shows as Eastern Daylight Time. Although we'll be back into Eastern Standard Time soon-ish. Congress seems to move what day that happens every freaking year, but soon-ish. That's my favorite temporal adjustment, though. The autumnal clock recalibration, because I get an extra hour of sleep, and that's my favorite thing.
I always just say Eastern Standard. I never really went to the other one. I don't know the difference. I just know that I use the Eastern time, the same time as you. That's all I know.
Yeah, most people don't bother anymore since most clocks are auto-updating.
Yeah.
It just,
Means you might see it said as verily, but actually it's the word amen. Let it be so.
Yep.
Let it be so. And let it be so. And then he makes a declaration. Because when you have both.
Let it be written and let it be done. I'm here to kill the chosen one. How's that song go? I'm thinking of Creeping Death, incidentally. If that's I'm mangling the lyrics so badly, it isn't necessarily obvious to everybody what I'm trying to do. It's lyrics from the song Creeping Death. I'm sent here by the chosen one. Yeah. So let it be written, so let it be done. I'm sent here by the chosen one. I'm no James Hetfield, I know. And my voice doesn't do that range very well anymore, but details.
It's a complete thought. Just like when you have male and female, it's a complete representation of God. Why would you only need to hear from half of humanity about the Bible? What sense would that make?
So she is a feminist. Women have a valuable perspective that we need to have a complete view of humanity. She gets to it in a really ridiculous way, but she's on board. Cool. So what's the problem?
If you didn't learn from when you were newborn, from when you were a baby, that's where you learn to love and trust. So women should feel great about teaching the Bible.
Yes. And you mentioned women's Bible studies and
women who believe in that particular book of fables do feel great about teaching the Bible. The problem is all the men who are pointing at certain passages in scripture saying, be silent because you're a woman. That's why we need feminism, ma'am.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay. So I was sitting there for a minute talking about I was confused with where she was trying to go for this whole little segment till she finally came to that point. Because at first I was like, what is she talking about? But I was trying to listen to think maybe she'll get onto her point.
Never. So Ryan sent us a link in chat, which goes to the Internet Archive, which you may know as the Wayback Machine. I'm sorry, I can't donate today. I'm very, very poor. And that goes to Cult-tastic Favorites, which includes studies in the Book of Jonah and Margaret Baker, The Gate of Heaven, and Rediscovering Eve. There's a bunch of cool shit in here. Feminist Companion to the Song of Songs, Texts of Terror. Oh, I have a new topic for a Sunday show. Texts of Terror. That will be amazing. What is it? Literary feminist readings of biblical narratives. All right, Ryan, Kip, if you're down for that, I do Sunday nights, 8 p.m. We only go till 9:30 because Maya's got to do her thing. But if either of you wants in on that, let me know. I'll set it up. I'm currently scheduling October, so we can do it during spooky season. I am doing it, but if you want to come, you're welcome too. Oh, goodness. That's amazing. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, because I think what Kip had said, where did it go? I can't find it.
Let's see.
That's right. Women can teach the Bible to other women. Yeah, because I remember I was part of evangelical church, and I got very deeply in trouble for me talking to a brother in church about certain Bible scriptures because they considered it teaching to him, and I was shunned upon because I did that.
It's a very common thing.
And later on, he became my leader, the leader of one of the smaller groups. Though he had only been there
Naturally.
for like a month. He'd been there for a month, and I was there for like a couple years.
Yeah. Okay. Kip says, what are we doing? I was distracted. There was a squirrel. You know, it happens. Ryan sent us a bunch of books through the Internet Archive. One of them is called Texts of Terror, a literary feminist readings of biblical narratives. And I think that would make, I haven't even looked at the damn thing, but I think it would make a fantastic show for Evening Ember, my Sunday night show. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And so I was like, Ryan, Kip, if you want to come play, you're welcome. But yeah, I'm good. I should probably look at the damn thing before I like make for sure that we're doing it as a show. But I mean, I'm a crazy person. I'm probably gonna do it.
And in fact, let me just go there real quick. Excuse me. You've mentioned that women's Bible studies are the backbone of our country. I think you already covered a little bit about that, speaking the importance about mothers, teaching the Bible to their children, hearing it in our mothers' voices. Talk to us about women's Bible studies. They are very important, aren't they?
I think women's Bible studies are what's keeping our country on track, to be honest, because
our country is doing so well.
The women Bible study. Okay. All right. Okay. No comment.
How about the price of eggs? How about where's the Epstein files? Like, the fuck?
Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
That?
I know I'm gonna get classified as a terrorist if I am into already. Oh goodness.
What's that movie they talk about?
What's what now?
Came out. That movie just came out. Don't talk about. Damn, never mind. It just came out. It was a Pixar movie. What's the name of that movie? Never mind.
Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Dino or Nino or don't talk. It was the Mexican. Never mind. I'll think of it in a minute. You know, the mind is the first to go. I am 50, so I don't have that much brain power anymore.
I'm like, I can find Nemo, I suppose. P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. That's
Bruno.
Permanently etched in my mind. I was not the
Don't
right
talk
age
about
for that
Bruno.
movie, but my kids were. Holy crap. Oh, Bruno. No, we don't talk about Bruno. Remember what the Catholics did to Bruno?
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno. Yes, Ryan. I'm in Eastern time. It's Eastern Daylight Time presently because we still do the stupid daylight savings thing, but we'll be back in Standard Time soon-ish. But it is Eastern Time, whichever flavor. So yeah, it'll be 8 p.m. Not this coming Sunday. This Sunday is Hate in the Workplace because it's important. The Sunday after, Damien Marie at Hope will be joining me. We're doing an Atheist Lives. We haven't done one in a long freaking time, but Damien Marie at Hope will be joining me because there's this Catholic pseudo psychologist who wants to say intersex people aren't real. And so since Damien is the only other out intersex person I know of, I invited him over and we're going to have some fun with that. What could possibly go wrong? And then I took the Spooky Places episode and moved it to the week after that. So it'll be 3 weeks hence when the Tales of Terror thing happens. But it'll be so fucking cool. Kip says, this is so fucking infuriating. I know so many brilliant women who are biblical scholars teaching at the highest levels. Women's Bible studies are infantilizing. And that's true. In fact, I've made contact with one of said wonderful, knowledgeable scholars, Dr. Bird, whom many of you know from various places. I invited her to join us on Java and Jugs, which is current incarnation. We've been taking over the damn show at 9 a.m. Eastern on that channel, The Daily Atheist, on Mondays.
So tune
And
in.
I invited Dr. Bird to join us, but she cannot do that early. I don't know what time zone she's in or what the deal is, but she just can't make the time slot. Hopefully we'll do something with her at some point in the future, but she can't join us for Java and Jugs or this show. It's just too damn early. Probably work or something.
Maybe when your Sunday or something, your evening. Because I would
maybe
love to see them on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, as you also know, I do the debate reviews with Mark Reed, and every other week we alternate. For example, this week we're on Mark's channel, so I don't have something scheduled for Saturday. As long as it, so I visit with my son on Saturdays usually, unless I have to move it to Sunday for some reason. So I've got the visit with my son, and then I've got Mark's or the debate review, whichever channel it's on. But there's often like an hour window I could cram a show into if there isn't one already scheduled. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see, but maybe someday. I could also do additional shows during the week. I just try not to have multiple shows on the same channel, because when a second video comes out within 24 hours, it interferes with the reach and viewability of the previous. They like undercut each other, because instead of YouTube showing both, they fight for views, and then neither does well.
Yeah, many times when you try to post a video, it'd be a time when a larger mainstream channel.
Yeah, you can get away with a different section of YouTube. Like you can do a live stream and a short, because they show up on completely different feeds, but you can't do multiple live streams. I mean, you could, but they will destroy each other, algorithmically speaking.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize this was a thing until I became a grandmother, and I had so I was a rabbi's wife for many, many, many years, but as my kids grew up and they took on the ministry, I had the opportunity to go to women's Bible studies with my Christian friends, and they were so excited about the TLV, they kept asking me to come to their Bible studies. I had no idea there was a women's Bible study movement across America everywhere, right? Because I was learning in synagogue with my husband and my kids. So I'm amazed at the amount of time
the Christians are going to Christian. I'm amazed that Christians are doing Christian things. Who could have imagined? Now, okay, I get it. There's a cultural difference. The evangelicals especially are obsessive about Bible study, because that's what they get in their various churches. Is the more time you spend on Jesus and the less on worldly things, the more righteous you are, the better you are in the eyes of God than everyone else. It's literally holier than thou-ism. And sometimes they do it because they really, really get into the cosplay of a Jesus follower, but sometimes they do it because they're afraid of hell, and sometimes they do it so they can be holier than thou, that righteousness business. Not all Christians are like that. There's huge groups of Christians that are actually humble people that do what Jesus said and keep their religion the fuck to themselves. You just don't hear from them because they keep their religion the fuck to themselves. But details
that women dedicate to spending in the Word. Because remember, we read the Bible to draw close to God, number one. Number two, we're looking for wisdom. And number three, we're looking for comfort. And
I mean, I personally, when I need comfort, I turn to the story of Esther. You know, the Jewish girl who overthrew the king or something. I don't know. I'm badly remembering a story I half remembered the first place. I'm just like, there's so much comfort in the Bible, right? Like Solomon telling the two mothers to saw the baby in half, or Joshua murdering entire people groups except for the virgins, and some of those have to be sacrificed because we did child sacrifice back in the day. But never mind that. The rest will be married to their captors. And remember, marriage at the time was when you consummated. That was the marriage ceremony, is when you consummated. So, but yeah, lots of comfort. Absolutely. Like, Oh, that time that that the Ark of the Covenant spewed out manna and whatnot, and the people got mad about it, and so Yahweh just like killed half of them. It's a weird number of people who survived that trek in the desert, considering how often Yahweh just killed half of them. Just, oh, this group of people made a golden calf. I've been running around calling myself a bull god, but they made a golden calf, so I'm going to melt them all into the fucking earth. But not the guy who instigated. He will be my high priest for some reason. Never mind.
No, you're thinking
Kill half the people.
Joshua
So
just killed them all.
Kip says you're thinking of Moses. Joshua just killed them all.
Yeah.
So much comfort in these stories.
That's just the most important reason to open up those pages. But women are driven to the Word of God because we know we're aching for wisdom. Isn't that what we're first looking for? Isn't that a good thing to look for wisdom? Absolutely. As long as
if you're aching for wisdom, I can suggest a whole bunch of books that might be better than ye old book of goat herder fairy tales. Just like try science fiction, for example. That's what they were covering on the damn show this morning. Any science fiction book will have more comfort and wisdom than ye old book of fairy tales. It just Kip says it's almost like the texts are cobbled together from various sources. Almost. Purple rhymes with orange says, how come God didn't do anything when they rolled out a literal golden idol of Trump at CPAP? I see what you did there, Purple. But to be clear, it's called CPAC. That was the one with Lady Maga running around, even though they hate drag queens. Just the hypocrisy's off the fucking charts. It just nobody cares. It's all just fucking pretense.
we're also willing to turn to God for it instead of other places.
So this may be our last question, maybe not. We'll see, Danya. But let's talk about men. Men have been beat up, and the gender roles have been.
Won't somebody think of the poor men?
The men have been beat up. Oh no.
Been confused, and I think on purpose the enemy has done this, and then culture goes along with it, sadly, the lies. But you've said that both men and women are oppressed.
It's funny he's talking about the lies as he sits there and lies, but never mind.
By current cultural narratives. So how does biblical feminism help get some sanity and truth into what we're seeing about people just being beat up over just being a man or a woman, male or female?
I think that men are amazing, and I think that strong men attract strong women. I think there's this lie out there that if you're a strong woman, you're with a weak man, and that's just not true. The truth is that strong men are not put off by women who are strong. Being strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Yeah, like what do you mean by strong? What do you mean emotionally strong? Do you mean strong of character? Do you mean physically strong? Are we talking that character from Encanto who could lift a fucking school bus? Like, what do you mean by strong? Clarity is the tool of the enemy, apparently.
Is recognizing that all power comes from God. Any power that's delegated to man is delegated by God, right? So what you're looking for is you're looking for men to be strong and to be courageous. God tells us again and again, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and be strengthened. If we women are not willing to work in partnership with men, if we're not willing to put aside the idea of being offended with who God chooses to do what, just celebrate the fact that God is on the move in the earth and that strong men are what we want. We're not looking to cancel each other out. That's a lie from the pit of hell, and I'm not interested in following that narrative.
They don't believe in cancel culture, folks. That's fun. Okay, I'm going to set aside the batshit crazy way she phrased that and look at what she actually meant. That people should work together, that we should view each other as equals at least on a baseline level, a legal level, a human level. Some people are going to be better at math and volcanoes, and some people are going to be better at hosting shows, and some people are going to be better at interpreting scripture, and some people, like Mark Reed, are going to be better at debating crazy people. We all have our strengths. We all have, you might say, our God-given strengths, but we can only utilize those as a people if we address each other with a baseline level of respect for each other's humanity, instead of an oppressive structure of I'm better than you because I have X plumbing, or I'm better than you because I spend 3 hours a week reading my favorite comic book. You know, it doesn't add up. So she's on board, philosophically at least, with the message of feminism. She just doesn't like to phrase it that way for political reasons. And in a way, I kind of respect that, because all too often we run into these bulwarks in these extremely right-wing spaces where certain words cause a system fault, a crash, everything after that word gets deleted from memory. They don't hear you if you say certain words. So by approaching it from a perspective of solidly within the Bible, the call is coming from inside the house. It's harder for them to ignore, even though it's a woman talking, so they automatically ignore her. But never mind that. She's still bringing, by way of the shit they say they believe, these important issues and whatnot. So she strikes me as very confused, but there is some commendability within what she's saying. And another thing that's commendable, Left-Handed Jedi sent a super chat for $5. Thank you so much, Jedi. And says, can I still trade my daughter for that ox I've been eyeing? I mean, that's between you and the ox merchant, biblically speaking, of course. You may need to give him a second daughter, though. Oxes are pretty valuable. But, you know.
Maybe your wife, too.
Yes, maybe your wife, too. Oh, goodness. Is your daughter as strong as the ox? Oh, fucking hell. Because we're all property. It's fine.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah.
The narrative where strong, pioneering men and women bring our country back to center, where children are safe, where mothers are protected, where dads are celebrated. Where
that would be great. Bring our country back to center, where we can have debates between left and right over fucking taxation and things that are supposed to be debated, where children are protected from, gun rampages. Remember, leading cause of death for children in the United States right now is gun violence. Children protected. Women are respected, regardless of what kind of woman, what color woman, what plumbing she was born with, all this sort of shit. Women are protected and men are respected. Trans men deserve fucking respect, not this erasure bullshit we've been getting from the culture, because to allow the possibility that there are men who are assigned female at birth undermines the entire fucking patriarchal system. Yeah, I'm on board with everything she said, just not what she thinks it means.
we can all be who we need to be and who God created us to be. I love leadership in men, because if men aren't willing to lead, then children are protected. Point blank. Godly love comes before brother.
Minor note, the current outbreak of violence against children is happening right now, where men are in charge. Men are running everything. Now, that's not to say that there's a causal relationship between men being in charge and this would never happen under a woman, but to say we need to restore men to their rightful place of leadership and it will stop all this nonsense. Men are in charge, and this is happening now. We see this in meme form, this form of propaganda all the damn time. Like, one thing that I keep seeing whenever I go to Reddit because I need a meme for some show or another is this image of hovels, people living in abject squalor with thrown together shacks and shit. And it says, this is the future that liberals want under communism. And then someone inevitably comments, this is the present under capitalism. Like, this isn't an artist painting. It's a real photo taken in the present under a capitalist system. Fucking hell.
2 comments over here I want to address. One is from Mark Reed. He says, why do I feel like she means when white people are safe? Exactly.
Who could imagine what the undertone there might be?
And the
No
other
idea.
one is from Purple. Where children are protected from priests, or is that expecting too much?
Oh, that's another good point, because if you remove or if you don't limit your bad things happening to children list to just stuff that actually unalives them, and you include every form of harm that, like, he traumatizes them, sends them to the hospital, whatever the case may be, gun violence is still number 1. Number 2 is SA. And the leading cause of SA, by orders of magnitude, is religion. CSA happens 90% of the time in the churches, in the church schools, under various forms of religious instruction, in youth pastor Bible study, all of this shit. Way more than from strangers or drag queens or whatever. Like, it's unreal how far off the scale this distinction is. So yeah, protecting the children from the priests might be a good fucking place to start. Holy crap. Jedi points out, did she say point blank? Like, gun violence? I missed who said it earlier, but someone pointed out irony is dead. They have no self-awareness, no sense of irony. It just, boom. Because again, the level of understanding is at the elementary school level. Everything in the universe is black and white. There's no nuance. There's no deeper comprehension. There's no search for wisdom. It's all just because we said so, because the book said so. Do as I say, but we're all equal. But do as I say. Or burn in hell for eternity.
Brotherly love. Godly love first, then love your neighbor as yourself. The first commandment is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself.
Starts with loving God. That's a
weird thing to say, because they also say you're not supposed to love yourself. That's vanity. So if you love your neighbor as yourself, and you're supposed to hate yourself, then you're supposed to hate your neighbor? Or am I using too much logic here? Am I saying, if an object has 4 sides and 4 right angles, and a square has 4 sides and 4 right angles, then the object is a square, or rectangle, I suppose, or rhombus, whatever. Am I overdoing it? Am I, is it a bridge too far with the logic there? I should know better than to try to apply logic. Silly Ember.
great perspective to end with. We ran out of time. I knew it would go by quickly. You tell us about TLV Talk. That's a weekly, every Friday podcast? What is it?
Yeah, it's a podcast I started with.
So she's got a podcast too. Buy my DVDs, buy my books, buy my app, buy my translation, and also a podcast. They spent less than 6 minutes talking about the book in the entire interview that she was here to talk about. And out of that 6 minutes, she spent a bunch of it also talking about her translation and her app and her podcast. What is the book about? What does the book say? We still don't know. So what is biblical feminism? I'm just beating up my microphone. I'm enthusiastic. It's a
Tell me your book is
it's
trash.
the lip gloss, folks.
Telling me your book is trash without telling me your book is trash. That's what she said. And her book's trash.
Holy
But
shit.
her own book is trash. And she knows it.
Synopsis. All right. I actually do want to know what the book is about. And if she's not going to tell us, by gum, let's look it up. Okay. Let's go to big mode so y'all can maybe have a chance of reading this. Let's see. I don't want the AI overview. Here we go. Let's try Amazon. Is this the right? Yep, this is the right book. Okay. Apart from Adam, every single man in the Bible came out of a woman. Apart from Adam, each woman born comes from the seed of a man. Apart from the ones who, never mind. This is a genetically scientific fact, period. Wow. I mean, it's not, but pop off, I guess. Just claiming shit, just declaring shit to be true. It's fine. It's fine. For the vast, vast, vast majority, it is true. So whatever, we can just let that pass. The biblical narrative emphasizes that while men and women are created uniquely different, they are equally essential. Ooh, essentialism. I love it. And valuable. Valuable. You're worth something as property in the tapestry of life. However, evil wins when men and women are pitted against one another. But rest assured, evil always overplays its hand. The deception of neo-feminism is that it empowers women. The reality is it sets them up for failure and destroys the foundational building blocks of family. Somehow, for some reason. Join me as we explore how the God of Israel defines genders with distinct roles and responsibilities that are critical to our health and well-being. No other religion, no other belief system or philosophy, none of it can lead you to health and well-being. Nobody else is healthy. Never mind the fact that 5 out of 6 of the world's oldest people are from India and China and Japan. No. Never mind that the vast majority of people who lived over the age of 100 with great health and well-being are from that section of the world. Never mind. The Bible literacy reverses moral decline. Well, that's sort of an interesting circular argument, because what is moral? That which comports with the rules in the Bible. So if you're going to assume morality means what the Bible says, and then say adherence to the Bible reverses immorality, then you're not wrong, but you're also not even wrong, because the more biblically moral you become, the faster you go to jail. Once again, Joshua wiping out entire populations is completely biblical. Drowning babies is completely biblical. And also getting abortions, also biblical. A Jewish look at the Holy Scriptures will open your eyes to the truth. And that is the key of every conspiracy theory. It's you're being misled by people somehow for some reason. But I, and only I, have the truest truth. So buy my book, join my cult, do as I say, because I have the secret knowledge. Amazing. That was fun. That was worth looking up. All right, we have more time today, which is why I prepared a second video, because sometimes we cover shit a little bit faster than others, and I never know how fast we're gonna go. So I have extra videos. So today we've got the second video. What is feminism? What even is it? What are we doing? What is the truthiest truth? The bestiest best? It's, yeah.
It's getting to be in your face and out of
This is the video I opened with. In fact, I'll go back. For those of you joining us later and didn't catch it, I will go back. It's only a few seconds. And while I'm doing that, do remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we would love to see you in the live chats in the future. But also we would love to see you at the start of the show, so you know what the hell we're talking about. It would be great. And thank you. It helps the channel. I very much appreciate it. And also, sending donations helps me continue to be alive, which helps the channel. It helps me pay electricity and so on and so forth. Ko-fi is one option. that I almost never plug, because there's Patreon at the bottom of the screen. There's memberships right on the channel. There's super chats, or if you're watching after the fact, there's super thanks, which is just like a super chat, but after the fact. And I shout those out on the next show. But there are other options if you don't like any of those. There's Ko-Fi, there's Cash App, there's a bunch of things all linked on my website, betterthanember.com, where you can find links to all the other stuff I do, like Good News over on the Transpositions. We just had a new episode last night with 100% more ninjas. If you need some good news, or just want some news about ninjas, maybe go check that out. Links on the website and in various other places. So yeah, but yes, if you can, do support the show. Do support me doing the show, because it helps a lot. But if you're very poor like me, I understand. I myself am very poor. There are free ways to help. Like, subscribe, share. Share is the most underutilized button on YouTube. Send this video to people who could use this information, who might like this information, or people who might hate this information, but really, really need some damn facts in their life. All good stuff. And comment after the fact. Leave a comment on the VOD of the video, the replay, because that helps a little bit too. Every little bit helps. Every button click helps. Every interaction helps. It all helps, and I appreciate it. All right, now let's do the thing. I have to try to remember to get that in somewhere in the middle of every show, or my non-sponsors will be disappointed in me.
Feminism. Have you noticed how women are becoming more and more aggressive and intolerant?
Yes, the women. We're becoming more and more aggressive and intolerant. And that leads me back to the poll. That's another good reason to redo it, because I've had a poll running this entire time since the very beginning. And the question of the day is, which is the best feminism? Is it biblical feminism? Apparently not. That got 0%. Is it radical feminism? Apparently not, because that only got 3%. And while I do agree with some of the principles of radical feminism, which again is the idea that the patriarchy is oppressing everyone and needs to be torn down through revolution, it isn't the best feminism, in my opinion. No, the best feminism, in my opinion, as well as in keeping with the chat, because we were divided on this one. 48% said, I don't know the flavors, and 49%, which is fair, because not a lot of people know, because it so rarely gets discussed. It's just black and white. It's just some people saying feminism good and some people saying feminism bad, but nobody ever explains what the fuck they're talking about. But the number one thing, my favorite feminism at least, is intersectional feminism, which explores the ways different groups interact and interrelate. Like, it's not just about equality for women, but also equalities for racial minorities, also equality for gender and sexual minorities, also equality for disability minorities. All of these things are fundamentally the same thing. It's just different prisms through which to view the political situation. Intersectional feminism is that we all benefit from increasing and improving diversity and equal access for all people. It helps everyone, not just the person being helped, but our entire civilization. And that's why it's my favorite flavor. Okay. So yeah.
You can finish, but I do want to make a comment.
Go ahead.
So from the first part, the first little section, or that person talking, that just sound like a man using an AI voice to sound like a woman. Because it just like what Aunt Jir says, what the lady on the video means is that women are becoming harder to subdue. They're not staying in their place. That was my point I was about to say, but she posted it before I get a chance to say it. But yeah, that's what it's showing you. That's that small little clip of the first few seconds. Yeah, that is not coming from a woman's point of view. That's from a man's point of view. I don't know what else the video's going to say, but from that few seconds, that's what I got from it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a voice changer. It's clearly an AI reading text out loud.
But it's still
I'm not sure if it was written by a man. I mean, it very well could be, but it could also be text generated by, Grok or Mecha Hitler, as it prefers to be called these days.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Far be it from me to dead name the nationalist robot of Elon's design.
It's getting to be in your face and out of control.
It's in your face and out of control.
The women are
good.
going rampant.
Yeah. Well,
Feminist
fucking good.
women.
Yeah.
I am 100% pro-woman, but I'm also 100% pro-man.
That's 200%, bestie. And also, the idea of feminism is that to be pro-woman does not mean the advancement of women at the expense of everyone else. It means the advancement of women to the point of equity and equality. Like it's for everyone to be equal. And I get that people get confused. There's people who are still confused by the concept of Black Lives Mattering. Oh, what you're saying, like white lives don't matter? Grow the
That
fuck
makes me
up,
so
bestie.
angry. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You don't understand.
People don't, English speakers don't speak English, apparently, but never mind that. It's fucking exhausting. To be pro-woman in the context of feminism means to be a proponent of equity for everyone, because women do not currently possess that and haven't. Things have been getting better gradually over generations, but we're still a long way from there. The fact we need the Me Too movement, the fact we needed the Pussy Hat March during Trump's first term, and arguably still we need it even more, but we've got other shit going on as well. People be busy, yo, but the fact all these things are necessary are because we are not yet at a state of equality. And in fact, there's a very strong right-wing movement trying to push us backwards. And so far, they're kind of succeeding. So, yeah, why might women be so uppity as well as angry and in your face about things?
Why is there so much division these days? Why are women
Why is there so much division?
division.
Why
You know
are
why?
women so mad about the fact we keep getting assaulted and R-worded and being forced to carry our worders baby to term? And why are women so upset about this? Goodness.
I am gonna say something that might pull a few hairs, but many of women's lack of, how can I put it? Many of women, how they feel about men comes from the mistreatment of their fathers. It starts from there.
I don't know. I don't like to broad
I
brush
don't
into
want
a
to
group
use that,
with
but it happens a lot. But then a man will get angry if it's okay if I treat women a certain way, but you better not treat my children a certain way. And it's kind of gets sad to me, you know.
there is a lot
There
to
are
be
some
said
great men
for.
that are great fathers. I won't say that they're not. There are.
Mhm.
But a lot of times it starts early at childbirth. Well,
Well,
at
it's a
child-rearing
complicated,
age.
nuanced topic. Psychological researchers and clinicians could probably show data that shows there is a correlation between being mistreated as a child and negative outcomes in adulthood. Probably so.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean causation. There's no counterfactuals. Like, we don't know how that person would have turned out if things were a different way. Just like with a well-adjusted person who was not mistreated as a child, there's a correlation there, but we don't know that it's causative or in which direction or what other confounding factors there are. So I'm very, very reluctant to pathologize entire groups of outcomes and say, oh, this is because of one simple thing that happened or probably happened to you. And it's minimizing. In my view, it makes people's entire lived experiences boiled down to one specific thing that isn't even necessarily the critical thing in their case,
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever dealing with a statistical situation, do remember one very important thing. Statistics apply to populations, not individuals. There is no, oh, you're the exception, but the rules still hold. No, statistics do not apply to individuals. Your outcome will always be your own outcome, regardless of the trends of various things.
So mad all the time. What is
Mad all the
feminism,
time.
really? A feminist is someone who believes in, and advocates for, the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Good so far.
Yeah.
To be clear, feminists aren't the only ones who do that, but that is literally the definition of feminism. So yeah, good so far. We're not mischaracterizing or building straw men
Yeah.
quite
So
yet.
that's good.
Particularly focusing on addressing the disadvantages and injustices historically faced by women.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Because that is how feminism started, and it is still the root of many of the underlying specific causes being addressed by feminist action, like Planned Parenthood and access to abortion, things like this. So yeah, okay, that's fair.
However, the term feminist can mean different things to different people, depending on the time period, cultural context, and personal beliefs.
And there's the key issue. What you think feminism means may vary based on your personal beliefs, rather than what it actually means. Because the whole right-wing thing of, well, I feel that it's a negative influence in our society. I have no data to back it up. I have no reason to think so. I've just been told to think it by someone with a bigger microphone, you know? Like, my feelings, though, my fifis say.
Feminism began as a movement to secure basic rights for women, such as the right to vote, the right to own property, equal access to education and employment. At its core, it seeks to ensure fair treatment of women and men under the law and in society.
Mm-hmm. That's fairly okay. Yeah, I don't see any major problems with any of that. That is what the feminist movement set out to do, and those are some of the things that it has at least partly succeeded at. Although the extreme right is doing their level best to roll back a lot of those things. Like how conservatives keep holding conferences to talk about how we need to repeal women's right to vote and also to own property. Because why would property own property?
And body autonomy.
Oh yeah, that's already under threat in a lot of places, or just gone in at least reproductive health care. You can in Texas, for example, you can still choose to get your ears pierced. You can choose to get a tattoo. You can choose to get a boob job, as long as you're the right kind of person. But never mind that. But you can't choose what happens with your reproductive system. So that's a bit of an issue.
In more recent decades, feminism has taken on additional meanings. Second wave feminism, 1960s through the 1980s. Focused on workplace equality, reproductive rights, and challenging traditional gender roles.
That's a fair it's a summary, but it's a fair encapsulation of second wave feminism, though I would argue the time range is a little off. By the 1980s, we were very much into third wave. The second wave happened in the post-war years, 1945 through possibly the late 60s, one might say. And it was workplace equality, because the war ended, all the women got kicked out of all the jobs, so the men returning home could have the jobs back, and women were like, hey, we were just doing that job. Why can't we do that job? Well, you're women, but we were just doing that job. What do you mean we can't do that job? And so, yeah, that challenging gender roles is part of that. Why can't women be the boss? We worked at this factory longer than you have, all that sorts of stuff. The reproductive rights, yes, but that became a much bigger issue in the third wave. So yeah, it's an okay encapsulation. It's just a little bit off in both scope and time frame, but it's fine. Second wave, yes, women deserve jobs.
Third wave feminism, 1990s through the 2010s. Emphasized diversity, individuality, and empowerment.
That one is a little sloppier. Again, third wave was more, took the reproductive rights and expanded on it. This is the sexual liberation movement, you might say. It's we should have control over our own reproductive rights. It was the birth control movement. It was the bra burning movement. It challenged more gender roles. It increased the visibility for more inequities. But also there was the sexual liberation component. There was a considerable portion of diversity movement in it, though, because it wasn't mentioned in the previous two, but it was an issue. There was a lot of racism in first and second wave feminism. It got a little better in second wave. First wave was stupidly racist. It was rights for women, but not black women. Second wave was more, okay, some black women, but not all black women, and not lesbians. Third wave included the rest of the brown people and the lesbians. So, every wave includes more women that previous waves excluded.
Yeah, I'm glad you did mention
Fourth
that.
wave
I'm glad you did mention that, because we have to understand and realize is that black men were given a lot of more freedoms and a lot of voting powers and stuff before the white women were. And they don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
When it came to voting and stuff, black men were able to vote before white women were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as racist as this country is, it's even more misogynist.
Yeah. There's been a black man before there's a white woman, or a woman, period, being president.
Mm-hmm. And oh boy, there's a lot to talk about there, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
Maybe if I can find videos that delve into useful bits of that, then maybe we will at some point. I'm setting up, next week is already scheduled, but I'm setting up the week after. I've got Monday and Tuesday set so far, but because we do Hot Topic every Monday through Friday, every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is another good reason to subscribe so you can join us. We're here every day. But coming up, Monday. Come on, scroll down. Oh, I have a lot of live shows set. I am prepared or something. Monday, September 29th, Breaking Prager. By request, I think it was Ryan's request.
Yeah, Ryan did request it. Yes.
Yeah, we're reviewing what PragerU has been up to lately, ever since Dennis Prager has been indisposed, what they're doing these days. So we've got a sampling of stuff that we're going to look at. Hopefully Ryan will be here for that one since she specifically requested it, but we'll see. Tuesday is Sinful Sex Part 2. Last week, I think we did a video with Pastor Mark Driscoll's list of forbidden acts Christians can't do. By popular request, we only got halfway through the list, so we're going to do the other half of the list. Wednesday, Artifacts of Intelligence. AI is a big topic lately, and a lot of people have talked about how AI is making people stupid. But they have only scratched the tip of that iceberg. We're going to delve deep as we can in 2 hours. Giggity. Yeah. Artifacts of Intelligence. Thursday, Brain Care, Mental Health. This one's going to be less flighty and quippy and right-wing bad, although there'll probably be a bit of that, but more like, here's ways you can make your life better, because I'm trying to keep the show diverse. It's not just the right wing sucks, the right wing sucks, the right wing sucks. That's important, but I want the show to be light and welcoming and have a diversity of topics that are helpful or entertaining or engaging, which is to say, if you have suggestions, if there's things you want to see, you can let me know in the comments. You can send me a Discord DM, whatever. You can send me an email. It's on my channel. I may not take your suggestion, but I'm open to suggestions. And of course, Feminist Friday, next week, we're looking at anti-woman women, specifically, but not exclusively, Phyllis Schlafly, the woman who almost single-handedly derailed the Equal Rights Amendment and kept women from achieving legal equality back in the day, and how her bullshit continues to carry on into the present. What could possibly go wrong? So it'll be fun. I hope you join us, and I hope you find it useful, valuable, and throw money at me, maybe. I hate asking for money, but I fucking need to. Oh, goodness. All right, let's continue with the thing.
Feminism, 2010s through the present. Often includes issues like intersectionality, race, gender, class, LGBTQ+ rights, and combating sexual harassment.
Okay, that's not so great. Again, the fourth wave started in the 90s. The time frames are shifted. I'm sure there's nothing dishonest in that. Also, it's repeating a few things that properly were the focus of previous waves, like the inclusion of GSM minorities. But yeah, fourth wave is predominantly focused on intersectional issues because a lot of the issues still faced by women are also faced by other minorities. And so all of us working on them together to achieve the initial point of feminism of actual equality makes sense. It's silly not to.
There were 20 years in between the second and third waves of feminism. But this fourth wave just keeps expanding and seems almost liquid. It seems strange, right?
That's a really weird thing to put it. It's presented as an explainer video, but then it starts with these weird characterizations and leading questions and framing things to try to put. This is a warning sign of propaganda, friends, when what seems to be an explainer video. I mean, I can set aside the slight errors and mistakes in the descriptions because people make mistakes. It's fine. We can correct them. We can learn from them. We can do better. But when it starts saying, hey, this seems strange, this seems odd, doesn't it? Now you're firmly in propaganda territory. So that's a little red flag to keep an eye on. In fact, I should add that to my list. Okay, so this is like
Some Christians and
we just get a little doot-to-do at the end. That was a TikTok video of a person showing pride for different minorities they happen to be a part of. Oh no, some people are intersectional. You know, like me, for example. I'm not just a woman, I'm a few other things too. Weird how that works.
conservatives critique modern feminism for encouraging rebellion against biblical gender roles. Example, wives submitting to their husbands. Ephesians.
So some Christians and conservatives critique modern feminism, not neo-feminism, but modern feminism, which incidentally, fourth wave is technically postmodern because the modern movement was like the 1920s through the 1950s, but never mind. Details. Why do we care what the Christians think? Like, that's not part of this particular political equation, but okay. Christians and conservatives, conservatives whose entire thing is to oppose progress. You've got your progressives and your conservatives, or regressives, or reactionaries, if you want to phrase it more accurately. And they're critiquing the people pushing for progress because they're reactionaries. Who could imagine? They're doing the thing that's literally the thing they're there to do. I'm shocked. But they're critiquing the rebellion against biblical gender roles. So what? Like, yeah, those are not good. Those are harmful. Those are oppressive. Why are you defending biblical gender roles and say that you don't hate women? It's fucking wild. Yeah, we know the biblical gender roles are a main facet of the feminist movement. They're like, we don't belong in just the kitchen. We belong in the factories. We belong in the boardrooms. We belong in the operating suites and the classrooms and on the space shuttles and all the things. Holy shit.
I can't think of the stupid Facebook post, but somebody was talking about everything that man does. Man builds the cars, man builds the yachts, and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, I work for a car factory, working building a vehicle. So how can you even say that?
Uh-huh.
It was so funny though. Like this person was trying to say what all man has done, and I'm like, I do some of that same stuff. I work on the line with men as well. A very strenuous, hard job every day.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do a job that men do, therefore you must be a man. But also bioessentialism. There's no logical coherence to any of these beliefs. It's I could never be a conservative because I cannot hold that level of cognitive. I have too much tism. I have too much tism to force myself into that level of cognitive dissonance. I physically cannot do it. Holy crap.
I can't either.
But yeah, I mean, I get a lot of people saying, oh, well, men do this or that. And it's like, no, actually, robots do this or that more than people do. It just, like,
what's that James Brown song? This is a man's world.
it's a classic for a reason.
5 verses 22 to 24. Promoting abortion, sexual promiscuity, or anti-male sentiment.
Because those are all the same thing. All right. Promoting your right to choose is not the same as promoting abortion. And also remember, like we were discussing just yesterday, abortions have always been a thing. You cannot stop them. All we're talking about is access to safe, legal abortions. But set that aside. Sexual promiscuity, not the same thing as access to abortion. That's a very separate issue. There may be some cases where both things are involved, but whatever. If you have
Whenever
access
my
to
phone
birth
rings,
control, then you don't need abortions.
it
Holy
goes
shit.
to my
And none of it
iPad
has
as well.
to do. This
So then
anti-male
it
sentiment thing
freezes.
is absolute bullshit. Like, how do you think people get pregnant if they're anti-male? Like, what do you fucking mean? Oh, goodness. All right, Kelly's tablet, phone, pad thing, whatever, is gone into phone mode. The struggles of technology, but she'll be along soon-ish, probably, hopefully. Andrew says, I used to load trucks at UPS. The amount of times I got called a lesbian as a direct response to someone complimenting my hard work and success. Goodness. I mean, some of us are lesbians, but that it doesn't relate. It's not the same thing. Holy crap. All right, Kelly has returned. Hello from the other side. Okay, I can't do Adele. It's fine. It's fine. Weirdly, people are like, Ember, your voice is so much higher than it used to be, but it's still so deep in so many ways. And then I try to sing Adele, and I can't get as deep as she is. But okay. Struggles. It struggles. I am feeling my voice is still not where I want it to be. I still need more practice. And I understand. I've known, all the voice teachers and whatnot. It takes like 4 years to get your voice to its final stable point of constant practice, which these daily shows are helping a lot with. So I appreciate doing these for that reason as well. I am less upset about my voice, but I'm still not exactly happy with it. It's progress. It's a work in progress. We're getting there, though. But if you listen to one of my old videos versus now, we've made a lot of fucking progress.
Supporting ideologies that elevate self over submission to God.
What the fucking what? Feminism. Okay, first of all, why is God part of this equation? But also, why do we care? But also, most importantly, and here's the thing that's going to blow some people's minds. You can be a feminist and a Christian. You can do both of these. These are not mutually exclusive. You can say women should be equal because we're all human beings and also worship the God of the Bible. You can do both. You can. In fact, one could argue, while there are scriptures and verses that say a woman's place is in the kitchen and yada, yada, there's other verses that say men and women are equal in the sight of God. And that's from Genesis all the way through Paul's letters. The whole fucking book. Fuck's sake. Kip says it could be so much worse. Imagine how Michael Jones or David Falk feels. Oh, those poor. Won't someone think of the poor apologists? Oh, okay. So assuming the Michael Jones you mean is inspiring philosophy, because for some reason both of those very common names come up commonly together. But I assume it's inspiring philosophy. Even though his philosophy was very riddled with sophistry, like every single time I look at it, I couldn't even find philosophy to sink my claws into. It was sophistry all the fucking way down. He took a stand against Christian nationalism. He took a stand against the Nazis. And I was like, that I can respect. We can disagree about the philosophical underpinnings of such and thus verse of scripture, whatever. We can do that. But you're on board that all humans deserve human rights. And these fucking Nazis have no place in our government. Very cool. But then the Charlie Kirk thing happened, and like so many people who claimed to have principles, a switch flipped. And now he's a crazy person, apparently. Holy shit. Yes, inspiring philosophy. Okay. I don't know. Maybe he'll get better. Maybe he'll get over it and he'll come to his senses. Maybe he'll even apologize. But I don't think so. But the good news is we may be covering him soon, because now that he's attending the Nazi rallies where there's, Grindr keeps blacking out. You can look at the Grindr usage maps and know where the Nazis are holding a rally, because there's a big old fucking outage right there. Not to say there's anything wrong with our gay brothers. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but they think there is. And they do it more than anyone. It's wild. So much that it's crashing the damn servers. You don't even have to look at the news. If there's a major outage, there's a Nazi rally.
Wow.
In this view, certain strands of feminism are not just about equal rights, but about dismantling God's design for family, marriage, and womanhood.
Yes, that would be the radical feminism we were talking about earlier, where the idea of patriarchy is itself harmful, toxic, and institutional. And those institutions need to be dismantled and replaced. That's radical feminism. Sometimes in a revolutionary way. They don't really care. It's not really relevant about whether it's God's design, because the social institutions we're dealing with, like the admissions processes to colleges, for example, not really based on God's design. It's not a relevant concept. But sure, let's dismantle God's design, whatever that's supposed to mean. And I know we all know what that's supposed to mean, but I will remind you again, a lot of that shit isn't actually in the Bible. And also, we don't actually have to do what the Bible claims to say, because the Bible, first of all, we haven't demonstrated there's any God at all. But second, we know that particular book was written by humans saying, do as we say, because we're speaking for God, which, according to the book, is blasphemy. So why would we listen to a bunch of blasphemous false prophets whose predictions, by the book's own criteria, you will know a false prophet when their predictions don't come true? And there's so many false prophets, including the Jesus fellow. His prophecies failed. He is a false prophet by the Bible's own standards. So why do we give a fuck what he has to say about how people need to live their lives? If there's wisdom, great. We can take the wisdom and set aside the bullshit. We do it with so many people. Not everything Martin Luther King said was revolutionary Jesus level wisdom. We take the good stuff and set aside the less good stuff. Some people are horrible motherfuckers. Gandhi, for example, he had some evil shit going on, but we take the wisdom, the valuable stuff he said, and we keep that and dump the rest. We can do that with fictional characters too. We can do that with Jesus. We can take the good stuff he said and dump the rest. It's fine. Kip says, Michael Jones retweeted someone who called Charlie Kirk a misogynist, bigoted fascist with, I am Charlie Kirk. He's just saying the quiet part out loud now. I don't know that it was ever that quiet, but yes, if someone is fascist, bigoted, misogynist, racist, homophobic, all the things, and that's being pointed out, and then another person comes along and says, yeah, I'm with that guy. You are saying you yourself are fascist, bigoted, racist, misogynistic, homophobic, all the other things. You're saying these things you're pointing at, I am those things. So, Michael Jones, fuck you very much. Not that I'm going to go out of my way to pay attention to this motherfucker, but he's on the list. He may come up.
We're here at LA Pride.
Okay, that's probably going to get the stream entirely demonetized because it was like 5 seconds of uninterrupted music. Oh no. Oh no. You know how YouTube is. You do a whole 2-hour show, but if there's 5 seconds of copyrighted music, all of the money goes to the copyright holder. It's whatever. Fucking whatever. I glanced up. I saw we were at 2 hours, which means it's time to end the show. I should have just let it go at that. But I'm like, no, let's do a little bit more.
I didn't even realize it.
Boom, copyrighted music. Fuck me sideways.
Funny how I realize.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, we finished the first video, which does not happen very often. So, maybe we'll do more of that video another time because it seems very angry about women being angry about injustice. How dare people be angry about injustice? They need to just get back in the kitchen. Holy shit. But I digress. We are over time, but I do want to take a second to thank the people who've sent super chats because that's how I pay bills. That's how I have electricity, and I very, 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 very much appreciate it. Apparently I missed one, which is another good reason to do this at the end of the show. So first, Jason Freer sent 5 Canadian. Thank you so much, and said, keeping Ember alive. Heartsies. Muttley Von Erich sent £2 and said, how many beans make 5? I think that's a reference to a show Bree did a little while back. I think it was like corn beans or toe beans or something. I can't quite remember, but it seems to ring a bell. My apologies, Muttley. I saw Muttley had to leave partway through. So if you watch this back later, my apologies for missing it, but thank you for that super chat. I was probably in another window or something when it came through, but I do try to catch those. I'm not perfect though, but I do appreciate it. And Left-Handed Jedi sent $5 saying, can I still trade my daughter for that ox I've been eyeing? I mean, you can do certain things with your ox that you can't do with your daughter under biblical law. Just throwing that out there. That's, yeah. But thank you all so much. Thank you for being here, for chatting, interacting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all the other things you do on YouTube. I will steal a line from Forrest and remind you there is a gift shop, although I don't make really much on those because I made the prices as low as I can so people can get the merch if they want it, because I'm very poor. And so I know many of you are not doing, none of us are rich. I'll put it that way. But there is a gift shop now, along with all my links and links to every other cast member for Hot Topic and Java and Jugs on my website, betterthanember.com. There's a bunch of other shit there too, including various references I make, gender science, trans stuff, intersex stuff, debunking young earth creationism stuff, resources for people who may be in bad situations, bunch of goodies on there. Kip says Vish and I will be on at 2 today. Very, very nerdy stream. So hell yeah. We're going to take us a little break, go grab some lunch, at least lunch for me. And wait, is that 2 Eastern time or 2 your time, Kip? Because Kip is further in a different time zone. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, even Deviant's like, which time zone is that? Yeah. We need specificity because we're nerds.
We're so confused over here. We don't know.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
want to
thank
thank
you all so
everybody.
much for being part of this community and fighting for equality today. That's our thing. And of course, weekend stuff coming up. Saturday, I'll be over at Mark Reed's for debate review. Bree will be joining us, and Sunday back here, evening Ember, for the night show.
Pacific time. The only time
Yeah, I know. I'm all over the damn place. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Right, hate in the workplace. Why does that keep happening? So that's Sunday, and then of course Java and Jugs will return over on the Daily Atheist Monday morning. But we're still
I was
doing Hot
about to say
Topic right
that.
after PragerU back here. So, a lot coming up. 2 p.m. Pacific time. So we have time for a long lunch before Kip's show. But
Yes.
yes, I'm running very, very late. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate everything you do and for being part of this community. And as always, remember, you don't have to mix your politics and your religion and lie to people about things that are incredibly obviously not true because you are better than religion. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Doodles. Thanks to the top level members and Patreon supporters for August: Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkison, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Kalasia, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, The Mighty Filbert, Hunter Biden's Laptops, Larkwright, Greg S., Neurogeezer, Mage Greywolf, Faran Salas, Poor Claire, BTF Wayne, Cosmic Kyle, Bomb Poppy, RDZ, Billy Bongsalot, Marty Cameo, My Unfinished Sock, Austin Sims, Tinker Phil, Anarchic Fox, Sabrina Page, Leslie Hutchings, Gazela Mail, Evil Toe, Right-Handed Sith, Luke, D. Murphy, Jesse, Uncle Charlie, Ryan Coltastic, Karisu Yamato, Scott Duke, Michael Bell, Sumami, Citizen 9, S. Cook, James Nordoff, Hecklek, Velvet, KCA Randy, B.S. Lewis, Tori Swansiger, Whimsy, Kristen Slays, Godless Engineer, Fern Lovebond, Hillhugger, Karen Butcher, Milwaukee Atheists, Booba Sweat, Maya Adkison, My Unfinished Studio, Ian Chen Official, Introvert Ancom, Tilting Windmill, Christopher Tablante, Robin Webster, Proby666, Jason T, Action Squad, Robert Madewell, Doc Don Hogg, Jester, Sydney Raptor, Stardust Lilith, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Jake, insert clever dapper inside joke here, Nelson, Supercritical Snake, Eli Slack, Geo Sam, Kalasia789, L Trucker, You Are Victoria, Polly Has His Cracker, Roman Weber, Leo Filius, Nikki Pare, Jasper, Yahooligan, and Pinworm. Thank you all so much. I feel energized and grateful that you're part of this community. Thank you.
Just like a spark that's breaking out.